Compute. Hi, everybody. John Harris here with my pal Billy Smith, and we're sitting in the cheap seats. Billy's are cheaper than mine because he can't even afford color. Cheap bastard. Pay the extra 75 cents, you prick. Up, there goes
Oh,
YouTube. There goes YouTube as far as monetizing. I'm not going to get any money now, but we're okay because we got a couple sponsors.
yeah.
Uh, First off, let's thank my pal Dennis and Graldi down in Vineland, New Jersey. Should say out east in Vineland, New Jersey. Um, he helps us out through his company Vineland Realty Corporation, 634 East Landis Avenue in Vineland, New Jersey. Their phone number is 856-690-9482. Any of your real estate needs, whether it's renting, buying, leasing, uh, as well as businesses, same thing. If you want to buy a business or sell your business, let Dennis know. That's at 856-690-9482. Vineland Realty Corporation, 634 East Landis Avenue, Vineland, New Jersey. Tell them that you heard about it from the cheap seats of Public John Media. Um, and of course, our newest sponsor, and this is one that's great for me, Bill, because let's face it, I've had a couple meals in my day and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. So, you know, I only have a couple of vices left. Coffee, which I had to cut down on a lot. Cigars, which I had to cut down on a lot, but I'll have one or two a month or something. But they're good ones. I can't. If you're gonna only have a couple, you got to have the good ones. And having some good grub. And speaking of good grub, our friends at Shotzi Schnitzel House. One, say that five times real fast. 121 South Broadway in Riley, Kansas. Their phone number 785-473-3355. And you could also look them up on Facebook. Um, there is a C in Schatzi and in Schnitzel. And then HAUS will come up, the German word for house. But it's Schatzi Schnitzel House. Always makes a great schnitzel. They open up every month, the catering hall, but it's a catering company. They will make anything you want. Just let them know. They do the train from Abilene to, I'm not sure where. I think from here to Abilene, which is always a pretty good deal too. Sometimes it's a dinner theater, whatever, but they cater that as well a couple times a month. And this month they're opening on Saturday. I think it's the 16th. And the menu is out, so you can look them up on Facebook at Shotzi Schnitzel House, 121 South Broadway in Riley, Kansas. If you're watching this here in Northeast Kansas, 785-473-3355. Stop on in. Tell Chef Manford that you heard about it here on the podcast from the cheap seats. Uh, we one day when you're traveling around, Bill, I got to get you out there because I think you'll like it. It's pretty cool place. It's just a basic building with it's got walls of cuckoo clocks in it that and they all work. It's freaking great. Um, I really like the place and I like the people and really like Chef Manford. Manford, LaGrange, Ulrich. It's you know, and he gets the LaGrange joke part of it because it's a ZZ Top song. How. He'll even do it. He's really a cool guy. But Shotzi Schnitzel House, 121 South Broadway, Riley, Kansas, 785-473-3355. Look at them or look for them on, and at them too, I guess, on Facebook. So, ready, Bill? Week one, the NFL starts
Woo-hoo.
tomorrow night. Or no, it's tonight, isn't it?
Tonight.
Yeah, I'm on, you can tell I'm on a overnight shift, so my brain is kind of fried. Like that's the reason. Nothing else I've done in life has screwed up the brain. Just that. Uh, well, let's dig into it. What Bill and I are going to do is just talk about the games that are the most interesting or different. So we're only going to break down four games. We'll whip right through the rest of them, and then but we'll talk about three or four games, and that way you guys can get on with your lives. Uh, so that's a good thing.
Short and
Yeah,
sweet.
that's it. Dallas and Philly. We both took Philly. The odds are 8.5. Over unders 47.5. We both took Philly in the over. If you hear a difference, Bill, let me know. Otherwise, that's figure out what we'll do. Just get through it. Friday night, Kansas City and the Chargers. It's a 3-point spread. I took Kansas City to win the game. The Chargers somehow to cover, and I took the under. The under is 46.5. Bill took Kansas City across the board, and he also took the under. Tampa Bay and Atlanta, we both took the over, and we both took Tampa Bay to win, covering the 1.5-point spread. Cincinnati, Cleveland, the only difference there, we took Cincinnati to win the game, cover the spread at 5.5. The only difference is I took the under at 48.5. Bill took the over. Indy and Miami, this is going to be a really good game, I think, Bill. We both took Indy to win, and we both took the under, which is at 47.5, the over under. Carolina and Jacksonville, we both took Jacksonville across the board. The point spread's 3.5. Over under is 46.5. I took under, Bill took over. Vegas, we both took Vegas and the over 3 points and 43.5 the over under. But we still took Vegas to cover. Arizona over New Orleans, 6.5-point spread, 43.5 over under. I took the over. So did Bill. Except Bill took New Orleans to cover. I took Arizona across the board. And Bill took Arizona to win the game. Pittsburgh and the Jets. I'm basically like, why? Well, I guess the Aaron Rodgers part of it, people will get a sniff at to report on, but we'll see what happens. But I don't think the Jets is a true test, to be honest with you. Here's why I don't think so. 38.5 points is the over-under. Probably, I think that's the lowest of the week. And that's low. But I've changed my mind on the over-under 2-3 times, eventually took the over, as did Bill, and we both took Pittsburgh. They covered a 3-point spread. Washington over the G-Men, the Giants, 45.5 points for over-under, 6-point spread. We both took Washington to go over and go over the over-under as well. Tennessee, Denver. Bill took Denver across the board. I took Denver win the game, Tennessee to cover. We both took over the 42.5-point spread. San Francisco, Seattle. We both took the Niners across the board. It's a 2.5-point spread, 43.5 over under. We both took the over. Green Bay and Detroit. This is going to be a bang up game, I think. I really do. Micah Parsons is supposed to play. Last we heard, he did have to get a shot in his back. So that tells you that back issue he had with Dallas during the preseason was real. But he's going to get a shot and do everything he can to play, and it looks like he is going to play at this point. We both took Green Bay to win and beat the spread, which is 2.5. Over under is 47.5. Bill took the over. I took the under. Rams across the board against the Texans, though I think it'll be close. I think the Rams will still win the game. They're picked by 3. We both took the over. 43.5 points is the over under. We both took the over. One of the games of the week, maybe the game of the week, Bill. Baltimore and Buffalo, but we agreed on it across the board. But still a good game to talk about. 50.5 points is the over under spread. Baltimore's picked by 1.5, but we both took Buffalo across the board. And Monday night football. Minnesota against Chicago at Soldier Field in Chicago. Minnesota's picked by 1.5. Bill and I both took Minnesota. It's 43.5 on the over under. Bill took the over. I took the under. So there you go. But we got a couple games we want to talk about. The rest of them, you have the picks, folks. And you can always rewind or whatever you got to do to watch this or listen to it. Dallas and Philadelphia. I think the key thing to watch here is probably Dak Prescott, because he was hurt both games they played last year. So the Eagles didn't face Prescott. And they do have CeeDee Lamb, and they do have now a second receiver in George Pickens. So, and their tight ends are decent. I think running backs a question.
Yeah,
Who,
questionable running backs.
yeah, who's going to emerge
They
as,
got they got Javonte Williams from Denver last year, who wasn't that
yeah,
impressied. He was
yeah,
supposed to be good coming out of college, but he hasn't really lived up to anything.
yeah, but he might, you never know with that, with a new team.
Different scheme, you never know.
Yeah, that's true too. Different head coach, different scheme, but same old Jerry, which is why Micah's gone. I mean, the big thing about Dallas is it really does look like they don't care to win. They look like they're there to entertain, which makes more money for them. Other than that, they might be competitive, but mediocre. Um, they might finish 9-8 or 8-9. I don't think they'll be in the playoffs.
I agree. No playoffs.
All right. Chiefs Chargers tomorrow night on YouTube or YouTube TV. It's both. So you got your choice. If you don't have YouTube TV, you can still actually watch it on YouTube. In LA. But the Chargers, especially, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a home crowd,
No, no,
no matter
no.
what game you play. And the Chiefs do, as they say, travel well.
Mhm.
So it could almost sound like a home game. And of course, we both took Kansas City and the under. We think it's going to be close. I took the Chargers actually to cover the odds, which is 3 points. So if
Yeah,
anything, it'll be a push. So
yeah. I think if anything, it would be a push. And I was real close taking the Chargers here because they drafted a rookie running back Hampton, and he's going to be good, I believe. So I almost took the Chargers here, but I just couldn't pull the trigger.
got you. And I did too, to be honest with you. I really did. And that one's in Brazil.
Mm.
So footing is going to be treacherous as well. It was last year for the Brazil game that Philly played. It's going to be because it's a soccer field.
Hmm.
So it could be some tough footing there, but I think that'll be a pretty interesting game. We're looking at Indy in Miami. I think that's going to be a really good game. We both took Indy, so we both I wish they took the underdog, but not really. They're picking Indy by a point and a half. I think it's interesting because we're going to see Daniel Jones under quarterback instead of Anthony Richardson. Um, and I really think because they've got some good offensive coordinators that are
Hmm.
now coaches. And Shane Steichen, the head coach, was a head coach under the same regime that Sirianni was under and all that. I think they just haven't had the horses, but they might have a few now. Um, they are more of a team-oriented team per se, and I think that's going to work for Indy. Miami, like I said, it's going to be close.
Miami comes down to Tua being healthy as
Yeah,
usual. I
if
mean,
Tua stays healthy, they'll be in the hunt, at least for a playoff spot. I think Buffalo's still the cream of the crop in the East, but yeah, I agree. It's up to whether Tua can stay healthy or not. I think he's one concussion, two at the most away from having to retire.
yeah, for sure, no doubt.
Um, another interesting game we've got here. We were talking about Green Bay and Detroit, and I've toyed with this and toyed with this. Finally, wrote down Green Bay and the under, but
Yeah,
uh,
I was real close to switching this one too because
yeah. And if I switched it one way, I was going to have to switch it the other because it's only a 2.5 point spread. So I was going to have, if I switched to Detroit, I was going to have, to me, I was going to have to do Detroit across the board. I still might, and if I do, I'll get a hold of you obviously before the game on Sunday. But uh, I think the addition of Micah Parsons makes Green Bay a threat to really at least advance in the playoffs. We've got a pretty good offense. Their defense wasn't bad, and now it's going to be stout.
yeah, I'm
Um,
just not sold on Jordan Love still yet. Very inconsistent. Um,
yeah, and that's one of the drawbacks I've had too. So
if it was in Detroit, I'd definitely take Detroit, but just
yeah,
so
I think you're right.
in Green Bay, you know.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. The home field does make the, and they always say the home field is worth 3 points. Well, it's in that margin at 2.5. So yeah, I think it would have swung the other way if it was in Detroit. And don't get me wrong, Detroit's getting a lot of people back that were injured last year, especially on defense. Hutchinson's going to be back. That'll be interesting to watch to see if he's healthy for Detroit. If he still causes havoc like he used to. I hope he does for his sake because that was a nasty looking injury. Um, so yeah, I think that's going to be a good game. That's going to be interesting. That's a Sunday afternoon game at 4 o'clock. I think Texas and Rams will be a pretty good game, but
Go either way too, that game.
huh?
That game could go either way also. So
Yeah, yeah, it could. It could. Texans defense is stout. That's the thing.
mm,
Houston has a pretty darn good defense. Uh, so I, you know, and the key to me here for the Rams, even their season, let alone this game, is Matt Stafford's back. If he gets hurt, and it's a precarious back situation, if he gets hurt, the Rams are in trouble, I think. I mean, Jimmy G is the backup, but outside of what, one decent season in New England, he really hasn't shown much.
yeah, it hasn't shown, and then
Uh-uh.
and then we'd be having our saying, "Thanks for stopping by,"
Thanks for
to be
stopping
done.
by. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, Jimmy G would probably go from second string to lucky to be third string somewhere else the next league, next season.
And he'd probably get hurt too. That's a
And he
whole.
probably, yeah, he gets hurt
Do
too.
this one every
Plays.
year.
You're right. He got really hurt in San Francisco. So yeah, a couple times. So yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. I think
went to the Raiders, got hurt. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. So yeah, he's a not necessarily a mobile quarterback,
he's made of glass, but not Pepsi glass.
but not but not he's not tempered. He's got nothing to keep him from shattering. Uh, give you an updated score. The Phillies are up 2-0 now over Milwaukee, and it is the bottom of the ninth. One out, nobody on. Fly ball to center. It's deep. It's way back. Bader makes a catch reaching over the wall. And I don't know if it would have been a homer, but Duran is in, of course, for the Phillies. I'm going to watch the replay, Bill, and give you a play-by-play on it. Bader backhanded up against the center field wall, leaps up, and yeah, that was gone. He brought it back. Or well, stop it would have been barely gone, but it was gone. He just saved him a run. So 2 down in the ninth. Wow, that's a heck of a play. That, my friends, will be on. That will be a highlight film because that would have made it 2-1. And then, Milwaukee would get a sniff. Duran throws a strike. Okay, I'll just keep an eye on it as we finish up. Uh, Big game, Baltimore, Buffalo. We both took Buffalo, even though Baltimore's favored, but it is only 1.5. So it is within that 3 point differential, we say, because it is in Buffalo. If this was Buffalo in December or January, I think you'd have to take this point spread up to about 4.5.
Yeah.
But nope, it's 1.5 for now. But this one's going to be interesting too because Buffalo doesn't have a whole lot of weapons. I mean, they got Cook, and you got Josh Allen. To me, he's like the ultimate weapon. Um, and I think that's part of why I picked them to go all the way into the Super Bowl and win it, to be honest with you. Uh, and
Yeah.
that's going to be a tough game.
Yeah. I see both quarterbacks getting like 50 yards rushing, both of them.
Yes, yes.
And maybe even closer to 100, to be honest with you. I just think it's that one of those
I
games
think
that-
Lamar will have a few more yards than Josh Allen, but if they get down by the goal line, it's going to be Josh Allen.
right.
He doesn't necessarily need the tush push because he just pushes.
Because with both teams are they're blitzing teams, all he has to do is both quarterbacks, all they have to do is step up and they can
Yeah,
pick up.
yeah. So it's going to be who has the better defense. For years, it would have been Baltimore, but now, um, not necessarily. I think a big thing is going to be how well does each team run too, Bill.
Hmm.
Baltimore's got Derrick Henry, and of course Buffalo's got James Cook, and two different type of runners in a way, but both will go on the line, and they'll hit you before you hit them.
Oh yeah, yeah, for
So
sure.
it might come down to who has the better running game, which then sets up the rest of the offense.
Hmm.
At least that's my take on it. It's part of why I took Buffalo.
Yep, I know. I agree with you.
Um, and last but not least, the game we'll discuss is Monday Night Football. Basically, because it is Monday Night Football, two young quarterbacks, both a little unproven. Uh, Caleb Williams is going to have his second defensive coordinator in offensive coordinator and head coach in 2 years. Um, that's always tough. But Minnesota's starting J.J. McCarthy, his first start. I mean, everybody's can't miss. Duran with a strikeout to end the ball game. 2-0 Phillies. So they win the series in Milwaukee.
Nice.
Yeah, and they need it. And Milwaukee has the best record, so the Phillies are trying to make up ground for that and trying to get some ground on the Dodgers because the first two teams get a bye. And right now, I think the Phillies are either in that number 2 spot or just out of it behind the Dodgers, but it's close. So we'll see what happens there. That it's going to be interesting. I think the Phillies are good. I don't think they're good enough to win the series. I think somebody's might knock them out in the league championship series.
Yeah, the Phillies. I'm not sure if they counted it yet, but they're 80 and 59, and
Yeah.
Dodgers are 78 and 61. So
Okay. So
Phillies got a
they've
couple of
gained
games.
something on them, probably half a game on
Yeah,
that because Dodgers will play later.
yeah. Since that's probably not updated, but if it does,
Yeah. Yeah,
they'll be
probably
like
not because it's only been like
two and a half
one.
game lead.
Let me see. And it was under Ranger Suarez who went 6 innings today. The good thing about Philadelphia now, of course, it's going to change as in the postseason a little bit. But if you get 6 innings out of your starter, their bullpen's pretty good at 7, 8, and 9, especially now that they have Durant. And they got Alvarado back to help them get to the postseason, at least. He can't pitch in the postseason.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't know how they scored their runs. Well, you told us about one. I don't know how they scored the other one, but
Real quick, I think it was Stott doubled, and see who scored. Yeah, Stott doubled, and Bader scored. So Bader
okay.
scored the second run and made
And then
and
and
saved a
made
run.
it wasn't a game saving catch, but it was a run saving catch. It was a home run, no doubt. So Trey Turner shows him here. He's talking to them, I guess. He was 1 for 4 with an RBI single in the eighth, which is the one you're talking about. I think knocked in Stott probably.
No, Stott doubled and
Oh,
Bader.
Stott doubled and
Yeah, Turner singled in the seventh, and Bohm scored.
okay. Well, he must have knocked in. It was his one run. Okay.
Yeah,
All
that was the
right.
first run. So
Yep,
yeah,
there it is.
so
They're showing
technically it
Bohm
was the
scoring.
game winning. Yeah.
Okay. There's not much else to discuss about here in the cheap seats. I don't know what your take is on Minnesota, Chicago, but I know.
It should be interesting. And I don't know what the just for giggles here. Let's just see if they have weather wise. It looks like it's going to be 71 and
In Chicago.
sunny. Yeah. So I mean,
Well, it's
so
Monday
it looks like
night, so
yeah,
the
it
sun
doesn't
won't
look
be
like
out
yeah.
long.
Well, yeah, it won't be that long, but I don't think weather's going to be an issue there. But
Yeah.
that could be a good game. I really do. I think it'd be nice to see what McCarthy could do,
Yes.
and I think the Bears are a young team that they're going to be up and up soon.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going to be a interesting game. See what Williams does with a new offense and see what McCarthy does at all.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, the hype around him, especially since he got out of college, is like, oh, he's pro ready, he's this, and then he got hurt. And I'm like, everybody's putting their eggs in his basket. I mean, you let Sam Darnold go and,
Yeah.
who had a good season for you. Um, so the coaches must have seen something to do that. Um, Smart though, because they don't have the problem Atlanta has, which is having Daniels or Kirk Cousins backing up Penix, uh, that's a PR nightmare.
Yeah,
Uh,
you can't have a lot of these young guys looking over their shoulders.
yep.
I mean, I don't think that's right.
No, no. And I kind of, though I've always been a little ambivalent toward Cousins, I do kind of feel bad that they signed him to a contract, and you knew they were obviously looking at Penix too. So at some point he was going to end up sitting, even though he signed a longer term
Yeah,
deal. So
30 million holding the clipboard.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel bad if he wants to play, but like you said, look at the bright side. His body's healing up while he's holding that clipboard. Unless he's got carpal tunnel, he's going to be okay this season, or unless Penix gets hurt. And I think that's why they're hanging on to him. I think it's insurance at this point. Don't get me wrong, if they got a good deal, I'm sure he'd be gone. But
Yeah, but it's good to have I mean, like I said, we hate to see somebody looking over their shoulder, but it also
yeah,
helps, make the young guy uh, learn more and like make less mistakes. And
yep, I agree. I
yeah,
think, which brings me in a way to one thing I forgot. Philadelphia's backup quarterback, Tanner McKee, is out tonight. He has I think he's got a problem with a finger. I don't know if it's broken or dislocated or something, but it's on his throwing hand. So
mhm.
uh, they don't expect it to be long term, but he wouldn't be able to go tonight. So he's not active tonight. So then again, like you said, if something happens to your starter, Philly could be in trouble tonight.
Yeah, didn't they just pick somebody up though, a veteran?
They might have. I know they cut the one guy, Robinson.
Let me see real quick.
I gotta
Philadelphia.
look and see who they have now on their
No.
quarterback depth chart.
Um, where's QBs at here? Oh, Sam Howell. He's
Oh, yes,
Milwaukee,
you're right.
correct?
I agree.
Yeah, he's
Sam
pretty
Howell.
good.
And I would make him probably number two over the other guy, whoever he is. I can't even remember who he is, third string. But the coaches see what they see. I mean, they obviously saw something in Tanner McKee, and I'll tell you what, that's that kid could probably start for a few teams already.
Hmm.
He looks good. Um, so there you have it. Um, there's our picks. There's our main game highlights and a little extra bonus of Major League Baseball watching a final. So, with a description of a great play, it was a really good play. Um, and you will see that again on SportsCenter if you watch ESPN because he robbed it of a homer. So, um, unless you have something else, Bill, I'm ready to sign this puppy off and let everybody go about their day.
Yeah, no, I'm getting ready for the game, so we're good to go and way to kick off the 2025 season here, and looking forward to it.
Yep, it should be fun.
And I'm in four fantasy leagues, so of course that's
Woo!
going to drive me crazy because
So you're going to go nuts again. Here we
I'm
go.
going to have some guys I got, and I'm going against the same guys.
Yeah,
And
same guy in the other league, and yeah, so which league do you want to win? And Bill, let me ask you a question.
yes,
Don't you have a heart problem?
yes. Oh, I
And you're
did.
doing four fantasy leagues in our show and still working for a living? Jeez. I do this and work, and I'm tired, and I have a heart problem. I'm like, your heart problem may be worse than mine, and let me tell you something, folks. Fantasy, if you're in a fantasy league, you could start out going, yeah, I'll do it for fun. All of a sudden week one starts and the stress kicks in.
Yeah.
It is not just for fun anymore. I mean, I did a Yahoo, Yoo-hoo,
They're good too.
and I like Yoo-hoo too. But did a Yahoo one, which wasn't a payoff, and did an ESPN one the next year that are free too. And I still was stressed on both of those. And of course, I've been with Billy's a few times, and the stress is there.
Mhm.
You got to pay attention to stuff. And like Billy said, if you're in more than one league, you could have, we'll say, Jalen Hurts going tonight in for your one team, but you got to go against him in another team because somebody else is playing him in another league. And it's like, what do you want to do? So it's stressful.
Yes, for sure.
Just remember, Bill, you got a heart condition, so no soda, no caffeine while you're watching these games over the weekend. Uh, Drink some of them drinks you like with the umbrellas and the fruit in them.
You got it, Doc.
All right. Hey, for my pal Billy Smith, for the folks at Vineland Realty Corporation, 634 East Landis Avenue, go in and see them in Vineland, New Jersey, and tell them you heard about us from the cheap seats. Same with Schatzi Schnitzel House in Riley, Kansas. Go in and have yourself a great meal on September 16th. Or if you see that they're catering an event and you can go, I recommend you go highly. They're helping me keep my weight up. Not that it needs to be kept up, but they help me do that too. So that's Schatzi Schnitzel House in Riley, Kansas, at the catering hall, and they'll be opening the doors for the public on the 16th of September. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be on YouTube. Of course, if you want to listen as a podcast, we'll be on Spotify and iTunes, or on streaming radio on Simplecast Radio. For my pal Billy Smith, folks at Vineland Realty and Schatzi Schnitzel House, we say thank you to everybody. Have a great week. It starts tonight. Get ready.
Good night, folks.